ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube. It is none other than I, Goldy Games, and we've got an update from Mr. Jeff Kaplan himself concerning whether or not the current state of Overwatch is balanced. So I made a video a few days ago just concerning the kind of slow update and balancing cycle to the game. Jeff's gone ahead and left a post, an official post on the forums. Basically, the tilde is that he feels that the game is completely balanced at the moment. There are a lot of people saying, oh, but Pharah's overpowered. I would say that Pharah is overpowered in the mindset of lower tier competitive play because of the fact that people don't know how to counter her. When you rise further and further up the ranks, you'll see that Pharah's not really played as much anymore. Kind of like, you know, how everyone thought Torb was overpowered when he first started, you know, becoming hot when the game first came out, but then people learned how to counter him, which was pretty easy to do. It's the same thing for Pharah at the moment. People just don't know how to deal with her, and that's common in lower ranks. Basically, amongst all the fanfare of "we love you, Jeff," "fight with Jeff," "prepare for death," despite how awestruck the response seems on the forums, it ultimately boils down to whether you balance up around skill or balance down. Jeff has clearly indicated a preference for the latter, and it's not surprising at all. It's common sense that game devs have to take the concerns of all players into account. I, don't think that any of us would deny that. But you have to scale the concerns of different player bases appropriately. The fact that a preponderance of players reside in quick play only is not surprising or even news to most of us. But even if truly competitive players and pro players are the smallest of silvers, if Blizzard wants Overwatch to succeed as a competitive game and as a competitive esport, you really do need to take the competitive concerns into account and not diminish them based on numbers. I mean, I've read posts like this 10 times now, and it's so vague and abstract, it's just hard to engage with, which makes it all the more irritating. Engaging with actual complaints with D.Va rather than talk vaguely about the meta. Engaging with the high profile complaints emerging from pro figures in NA and Korea alike. That's what I would like to see, even just for a paragraph. Of course, I accept this post is aimed more at casual players, and that's part of the problem in itself. The only real thing of value here is that it confirms that Roadhog was nerfed into the ground because people complained long enough, which doesn't really inspire confidence. Great to listen to feedback, it's bad to be too malleable to it. But I can't think of a more obvious example of caving to community pressure over solid design philosophy. This was a real argument to be made in favour of Roadhog's existence, however controversial. With his one hook kill capacity, in his nurtured form there really isn't one. Despite the optimism of some hog defenders, he remains playable but incoherent. Jeff says, so to summarise, balancing heroes who are unbalanced is good. Balancing heroes just to make them picked more or picked less is not good, in my humble opinion. So is that kind of like how Jeff said Winston was the least played hero in the game during his Ask Me Anything recently, and despite maintaining a healthy pick rate at higher levels of play, tournaments and high ranked, where players work together, they just shift a bunch of buffs to him to the point where he's in every game. If that's not balancing for pick rate, then I don't know what is. The opposite obviously happens to Roadhog, it seems. Jeff says, changes to heroes are usually made to make the game better. That's what we were trying to do with Roadhog. The goal wasn't a nerf. Our intent wasn't a nerf. Our intent was trying to remove a behaviour that had become not okay with our player base. One-shot combo. Maybe he needs to be adjusted again? Probably. So this is getting silly now. What benefit is there to practicing your butt off, reviewing your gameplay, coming up with new strategies just to have the developers make changes for the lowest common denominator player that wouldn't even know how to take advantage of the changes that had occurred? Unskilled players don't capitalize on weaknesses and strengths of their heroes, team compositions and positioning. So any changes made to benefit these levels will have to be very little in the way of results while affecting the higher levels very adversely. It's been demonstrated that top-down balancing is the only balancing structure that logically makes sense, but Blizzard wants to have the cake and eat it too. And you know, I mean, I just feel that Blizzard are not doing enough in terms of balancing decisions at the moment. I want to see Overwatch become a big esport. I have so much confidence and I just love this game. I know big things can happen and it frustrates me so much when they just cater to the casual player that just doesn't understand the mechanics. I really hope that we can get away from this mentality of working as intended. Anyway, who am I, girl? Who am I? What do you guys think about what Jeff had to say? I mean, I've made my concerns pretty clear. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I'd love to have a chat with you guys about it because I find it freaking infuriating, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos and smash that like button if you haven't already. I'm Goldy and I make videos daily. I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye for now, guys. Have a good weekend. Bye. Bye.